Are you looking for the best Bluetooth speakers? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best Bluetooth speakers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1, JBL Pulse 5. If you want a speaker that looks as good as it sounds, JBL's Pulse 5 looks like a modern take on a lava lamp and sounds great. It's notably bigger than most of our other picks, standing at 8.5 inches tall, but that's to its benefit. Its bright, cylindrical array of lights play a variety of animations. It's packed with options as far as lighting, including spinning rings of different colors, lights that look like clouds moving through a blue sky, and pulsing dots. You can also change the tempo of the animations to better match the vibe of your room, though every tempo syncs to your current song automatically. It goes beyond just being a nice bit of decoration, it's a solid speaker, too. In my testing, it performed well across a variety of genres, including classical, electronic, hip-hop, and rock, with minor discrepancies on higher frequency notes, but nothing too noticeable. It's not as portable as the Wonder Boom, Clip, or Flip, but it's notably louder and its sound is richer, plus that extra size makes for a better light show, which is the main attraction. Number 2, Edifier R1700 BT Bluetooth Bookshelf Speakers. Powered bookshelf speakers. If you want a pair of bookshelf speakers that can wirelessly stream your records, Jake Sullivan, co-owner of Wooden Tooth Records in Tucson, Arizona, recommends Edifier's R1700 BT. He sells them in his shop, and says customers love them. It's the perfect price point for somebody who's getting a new turntable or speaker system but doesn't want to blow their budget, he says, adding that despite their compact size, they're loud enough to fill a room. If you want to connect these speakers to a turntable that's not Bluetooth enabled, it has inputs for traditional stereo cables. The added Bluetooth functionality is handy for when you're not playing a record, so you can blast a playlist or two straight from your phone without having to switch to a separate speaker. The right speaker has a side panel for controlling the volume, as well as bass and treble levels. There's also a wireless remote you can use to adjust those same levels, plus toggle the mute function and switch input devices. Unlike other speakers we recommend, these speakers don't have a built-in battery, so you'll need to connect the R1700 BTs to a power source. Number 3, JBL Boom Boox 3. Most speakers can get loud enough to hear outside in ideal conditions with small groups of people, but if you throw a lot of parties or large get-togethers, you may want a bigger speaker that won't get drowned out by chatter or wind. JBL's Boom Boox 3 is a large speaker, but it has a built-in handle that makes it easy to grab and transport. At 13 pounds, it's significantly heavier than any other speaker we recommend, but the handle is balanced so that you don't notice all that weight, and all that extra heft pays off. It's by far the loudest speaker we've tested, and that extra boost doesn't come at the expense of sound quality. At 40% volume, it's louder than smaller speakers at maximum volume, and it's hard to imagine many scenarios that would need to crank it to 100%. Bass is heavy without overpowering other frequencies, and vocals sound crisp from up to a few hundred feet away. If you have another JBL speaker, like the Pulse 5, you can even pair them together for a richer sound, though they have to stay pretty close to each other, so you shouldn't use this as a way to carry tunes between rooms. Its battery can last up to 24 hours on a single charge, and still lasted a couple hours after being inactive for a month. And it has a USB-A port you can use to charge your devices if you take this speaker with you on the road, or a visitor needs a quick charge before heading home. Number 4, JBL Flip 6 Waterproof Bluetooth Speaker. For those sticking to smaller get-togethers or solo listening parties, JBL's smaller Flip 6 provides enough volume to fill a room while having a small footprint. It's about the size of a small water bottle, and can easily be tossed into a backpack or tote without adding too much heft to your bag. Sound is rich, with surprisingly powerful bass for a speaker this size. It's louder and has clearer sound than a Wonder Boom or Clip, but it's not quite as loud as the Pulse 5, though it's significantly smaller. On the side, there are buttons for volume control, play, pause, and a toggle for JBL's party boost mode that lets you easily pair multiple JBL speakers together without having to fiddle with any settings. It also has an easily removable fabric loop that you can grab onto when carrying it from room to room or before dropping it into your bag and heading out for the day. Sullivan has been using an older model of the Flip for nearly 10 years and says it's still holding up well enough to use for small gatherings. During a recent get-together, he was able to play 6 hours worth of music on a patio with a small group of friends. Number 5. Ultimateer's Mega Boom 3. If you need a speaker that's louder than an Alexa speaker and more portable than a party speaker, Logitech's Mega Boom 3 boasts a big sound in a relatively small package. It's nearly 9 inches tall, so it's not really compact. It's about the height of a large hydro flask. That additional size makes it a notably louder speaker, though, and it's still small enough to drop into a tote or in the back seat. Aside from the boom box, it's the bassiest speaker I've tested for this guide. When listening to albums like Danny Brown's Old, the bass shone through without muddling other sounds. Like Logitech's other speakers, you can pair it with additional Ultimateer's devices for a louder, stereo experience. The company says it can work with up to 150 speakers, but I've only tested it with a total of 4. That said, with 4 speakers paired together, which you do from the Ultimateer's app, my small living room went from a coffee shop with background noise to a Friday night house party packed with plenty of bass and good tunes.